Good morning. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and rocking with us for another edition of the Morning Breeze, man. Always rocking with you guys, as always, man. Outside of me, I got my guy, Mr. Media himself, Jordan JC, in the building. And this is how you do it. That's right. What's good, y'all? It's your boy Pat the Designer back at it again. Brad Biggs in the building, ladies and gentlemen. Not in the building, I guess I shouldn't say that. But Brad Biggs has the Chicago Bears playing it safe. Number 10 overall pick. Can you risk it? Would that be a mistake? And then the powers that are Kyper and Yates have come together.
Oh,
the powers of Kyper
combined.
and Espen have combined for a 3-round mock draft that maybe will mock your socks off. Not gonna lie, I feel like this might actually be a mock that makes everybody a little bit tingly. I'm tingling. That's just natural, though. That's called diabetes.
Oh, boy. All right.
Coby White going into his third play-in game in a row. 3 seasons in a row. It's the time to show up. Hey, the date's 4/15/2025. 7:05 in the morning. I've got it on good authority, Jordan JC, that nobody knows what the heck's going on. We're just throwing names out there at this point. Who do you want
time for this draft?
I'm taking Mr. Meaty, 10th overall.
That's right.
Top 10 pick.
You put me on that line, I'll deliver.
I don't know about that.
Hey, you watch it. You watch it.
I don't know about that.
Coming from Braxton Jones's job.
Oh, that's not that hard to take. He won't be there to fight it.
I can slide back into the quarterback.
He won't be there to fight it off. I'll tell you that much. Hey, Braxton Jones' job looks real easy until you got Myles Garrett standing across from you.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
Till Trey Hendrickson is sitting there looking you in the eye.
Hey, how you doing,
Trey? Might have been on something with this. I don't know, man.
Go easy on me today, would you?
Hey, man, appreciate y'all for tuning in to the show. I love it. That like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do.
Come on. Push the button. Come on. Push the button. Come on, push the button.
Yeah, come on, push your button.
You heard what she said.
Y'all heard what Sue Young has said. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, man. Leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. George JC, what's going on, my guy?
Oh, feeling good, man. I'm be honest with you. I love a good mock, but I think it's about time that we get to the draft. I'm getting a little sick of all these mocks.
Yeah.
Getting a little sick of it.
Yeah. It's about that time. This is usually about when I get sick of the mocks, but you want to know what's interesting, right? Is we sit here and we do these mocks all off season. And of course, I think it's probably time for us to do our final mock here coming up this Thursday.
All right.
Might be time for a little mock your socks off, ladies and gentlemen.
Right.
Which we may have to do that live. I know we're doing the whole pre-record thing, but a mock feels like a lot.
Like you got to do it live. Yeah, you got to do it with the people.
We may be
got to do it with the people.
Yeah, but Jesus Christ, Stephanie, never mind. But I pulled up YouTube when I saw something unexpected on YouTube.
Hey,
they got a weird trend going on YouTube where they take 90s actresses and they AI them with like bikinis and stuff on and stuff they never wore.
What?
It's a weird trend on YouTube, dog. And I swear, I don't know how I've gotten in this algorithm. I searched nothing but sports.
I think you know how you got through that.
I'm gonna tell you this right now. I'm so confident in my search, I will put my YouTube on the screen.
Yeah, right.
Look at what Pat searches.
Oh boy.
Look at what Pat searches.
That's
It is
hilarious.
all sports all the time, baby.
That's hilarious. Good Lord.
I'm like, YouTube just sending me to never mind. But no, man. I think the Brad Biggs mock draft is an interesting one because a lot of times we sit here,
yes, it
go
is.
down all of these rabbit holes, right? We go down all of these different avenues for mock draft. Oh, we got to take this guy. Oh, is this guy going to be available? Oh, look at the upside on this guy. And a lot of times you end up pretty much right where you started. You talk about mock drafts, right? And Brad Biggs at 10, to me, is going with a name that I believe is playing it safe, right? It is going after the guy that is going to have a level of success in the NFL. I do believe this. But going after the guy that maybe doesn't have the highest of high ceiling. At 10 overall in Brad Biggs' mock draft, he ends up taking. I still don't have a drum roll on here. I just thought about that. I was about to go for the drum roll.
He doesn't need one.
Son of a bitch. Kelvin Banks Jr., 10th overall for the Chicago Bears. Now, in this mock draft scenario, Will Campbell is off the board 4. Mason Graham is off the board 5. And,
Sure.
you're kind of dealing in that situation where we said the Bears would be, where there's not going to be a ton of. I like how I'm logged into the Tribune on my phone, but not on the computer. I don't even know how that's possible. But there's not going to be a ton of big name guys available for you, right? You're taking some chances, maybe taking a reach. He has Shedeur Sanders coming off of the board 9 here. He's got Jalen Walker 8. Now, Mike Green is still on the board. You know how I feel about Mike Green.
Yeah.
There's still some names. Jahad Campbell still on the board, who's flown up
Sure.
some draft.
I'll take him.
Draft stock. Tyler Warren still on the board.
I'll definitely take him.
Michael Williams, now you're getting into kind of the range where it's like, I'm good on that guy. 10. Gray Zabel's still on the board. If there's a trade back scenario, maybe you go with Gray Zabel there. But what he said about Kelvin Banks Jr., he said in the Bears bid to rebuild the offensive line, there wasn't a left tackle to pursue in free agency once Ronnie Stanley re-signed in Baltimore. They want competition for the position, and with Braxton Jones coming off of ankle surgery and Karan Amagaji's skill set unknown, a left tackle for the future would make sense. If they really want to build from the inside out, maybe number 10 is a little high for Banks, and it's worth wondering if the Bears don't trade back or couldn't trade back and still grab him, which I do believe that is a possibility, right? I think if the Bears were to trade back, that would still be available for you. But the conversation on trading back continues to confuse me because who's trading up? If Shedeur Sanders is off the board 9, no one's trading up.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's trading up to 10 for Jackson Dart.
Definitely not. No.
So to me, there is this. You're kind of in this no man's land where if you believe in Kelvin Banks Jr., if you believe he's a left tackle, if you believe that he's the competition that Braxton Jones needs at that position, if you believe that his floor is Braxton Jones' ceiling, it's not a bad pick. But to me, it does feel like the safe pick and not trying to go after a big name piece or somebody who you feel has more, while that has shown it in college. I'm not saying go after Shamar Stewart 10. I'm saying go after somebody who's shown it in college, who's shown it on tape, who looks like they have all of these assets and there's some upside there. Kelvin Banks feels like exactly who Kelvin Banks is. And he feels like he'll be that in the NFL for 10 years, which is a solid left tackle. And maybe because of the value on that position, that is the best case scenario at 10. Your thoughts, Jordan JC?
I mean, yeah, Kelvin Banks is definitely a safe pick. I mean, he's going, to battle in college with some of the better pros that have gone into the league. Coming from a decent program in Texas, has the technical sound part of the game down good. He's kind of scrappy, but if you're talking about the value at 10, when you still have possibly the best tight end, not even possibly the best tight end still on the board when you have, like we mentioned, a Mike Green who was very productive with the amount of snaps, or rather sacks, I should say, leading all of FBS. Like that's where I would lean towards, because even if you're admitting which by the way, Brad Biggs admitted himself, maybe this is a little too high for him to even be here, you could trade back. I'd agree with that. You know, you can get more value at 10. And so I understand that there does need to be competition at the left tackle position. I've said that all the time. I've said that Braxton Jones honestly needs to be replaced. I would love for him to be our backup. Amageji apparently is doing everything he can to get himself ready for his this next year. However, I would want to bring somebody in probably in the later rounds to compete with those guys. If we're talking about who we're taking it in, Kelvin Banks is not on my radar anymore. There's reasons why he fell down the draft board. And I understand that you got guys like Mimbu that are off the board. You mentioned, Will Campbell off the board as well. Josh Simmons, I've praised that name a million times. Josh Simmons is still there. I think without the injury, Josh Simmons is way better than Kelvin Banks Jr. in my opinion. And so you got names still on the board. So for me, and even the NFL comparison that they have here, because I like NFL comps, they got Peter Skoronski. I'm not too high on Peter Skoronski.
You know what though? I always feel weird when they give you a NFL comp from the season before. You know what I mean?
You think that's a little too premature?
It's always just like, okay, but you don't know what Peter Skoronski is consistently in the NFL yet.
So you're saying that there's growth, there's time for him to grow and kind of get out of that dry spell.
Going Peter Skoronski in his second year in the NFL is the equivalent of giving somebody a Hall of Famer.
Okay. All right.
You know what I mean? And it's one of those where it's like you're going big on one end, but you're going the lowest of low on the other. Like I try not to do that. I know I have done that in this draft with Mike Green, but that's how strongly I feel about Mike Green. But I try not to do that with most players.
Yeah.
Like most players I look at and I'm like, that guy's not going to be, Joe Tooney.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he really projects to be Joe Tooney. Or the dude that hasn't missed a AFC title game in 8 years, that's who he projects to be. Like, I feel like you do a lot of the players a disservice when you put that high name. And I feel like it's the same conversation where you put the lows of lows on a lot of these players' names. But I think the big thing with all of this to me when talking about the possibility of going out and adding a guy like Kelvin Banks Jr. is, to me, it's not a negative. It's just not the positive that we thought. You know what it is? It's if you had traded Marcus Pfizer and gotten Dwayne Wade, that's leaps and bounds better than ending up with Kirk Heinrich and Lou Aldang. But Kirk Heinrich and Lou Aldang are good.
Very good seasons, very good careers.
Like what we saw from Kirk and Lou All. Like the game that they had, like how they, were a part of the Bulls, or some of our favorite Bulls of the 2000s, right?
Sure.
I'd rather have D Wade.
Top 3 shooting guard, top 5 shooting guard of all time.
Like I would rather have the guy who is the big name, who is the more explosive player, who is to me the obvious pick. But you want to hold on to Marcus Pfizer. That's some previous beef. Don't worry about that. But that's how this feels to me, right? Like Kelvin Banks Jr. is fine. He's going to be a good left tackle, probably projects better as a left guard, which may, in this case, be a better situation for you. Because, again, as much as we've talked about Joe Tooney, as JC
Joe Tooney, yeah.
As much as we talked about Joe Tooney and how much he impacts his team, Joe Tooney's 31, 32 years old. Like, it's not going to be very long. You're talking about 3 years, maybe max, unless he's one of those weird players who's just like, hey, like, I could just play till 40. I'm just really good at this. There are some of those dudes. There's some of those dudes, right? Jason Peters still getting calls. Like, there's some of those dudes who are great Jason like that. Peters. But more times than not, that's not the case in the game of football. And so, like, maybe in this situation, taking Kelvin Banks, who is playing left tackle now, who probably can move in and projects more as a guard in the future, and maybe that's a better position for him. Maybe that is an answer for you. Or worst case scenario, he's your left tackle for the next 10 years.
Look,
Like,
I'm not saying that he's going to be bad or anything. I think it's recency bias. I think when I heard Kelvin Banks' name, it was because at the very beginning, he was kind of mentioned in those discussions as being one of the top tackles, right? And then slowly but surely, you get mock draft fatigue. I think that's where I'm at right now. As I mentioned at the beginning, I'm getting mock draft fatigue. It's just like I don't expect
to do with Kelvin. You just stick a mocks.
Yeah, man. I've heard his name in the beginning of the first mocks for the beginning of this season. Now we're at the end of the thing, and we're almost there at the actual draft. And he's still, and Brad thinks that he's going to be there at 10. I think that he's already fallen into the teens and into the 20s, in my opinion. So maybe that's just me. I don't think that he'll be a bad player. I just thought that the value for that pick is a little bit higher than picking him. And so, I expect him, if you were to pick him, to come in and truly challenge for that left tackle. And like you said, maybe even guard position down the road, but it's not like he's a bad or there's a lack of talent there. I think I'm just getting a little tired.
What would be interesting to see is how far you can go before somebody would grab him. If you were to move down, maybe you swap places, either Atlanta or the Colts. Maybe if you got a trade back situation on that. But outside of that, like, again, I keep bringing this up, the trade back scenario that the Bears are in. There's nobody who I think wants to trade up. Why would I give up assets? Again, Ryan Poles said it best. Like, there are guys at 10 that you're going to look at their value and see the same value as guys who are at 40. There are guys at 40 who you're going to look at their value and see the same value as a guy who's at 60. It's that kind of draft where, and it's not a bad draft. It's just a solid draft, right? It's a draft full of Kirk Heinrichs. To bring back the analogy I said before, got a heck of a lot of Kirk. You know what Kirk Heinrich got? A 10+ year NBA career, and he was a solid player.
Very reliable.
Every year of it.
Yeah, very reliable.
You take that deal?
Oh, yeah, I'll take that deal.
Yeah, dang good deal. Hey, man, hit that like button if you have not done so. Subscribe to the page. Leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. I think what's interesting in all of this is the fact that, right, where the Bears are right now, and where with the Brad Biggs conversation here, there is a way to get the excitement in this draft. There's a way to go after the high name player in this draft. But what it means is you have to hit later. You have to hit on the draft names later on in the draft. And I think that Field Yates and Mel Kyper did that with their mock draft. We're going to break that down here coming up next. But first, we do want to hear a word from our sponsors. Hit that like button if you have not done so. Subscribe to the page. Leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. We're going to cue the Aura music, and we'll be right back right after this. Appreciate you guys for tuning in and watching the show. Today's episode of the podcast is brought to you by Aura. Have you ever done a Google search on your own name? You'd be surprised what pops up. Your full name, email address, home address, health records, your relatives. It's all out there. And that's why I've been using Aura, the sponsor of today's video. Aura shows me which data brokers are selling my information and automatically submits opt-out requests just for me. Cleaning up my information not only helps reduce the amount of spam I get, but it protects me from hackers who could use that information to help them access my social media, bank accounts, and other sensitive information. It's really simple to set up. I don't have to download several apps or go to things like antivirus, VPN, password management, parental controls, identity theft, but you can get all of that in one place with Aura. I get everything at one affordable price as well. You may already have one or two of these tools, but not having Aura is like leaving the front door locked while leaving the back door and windows wide open. For you to be able to take advantage of Aura, we got a special deal for you here today. Stop data brokers from exposing your personal information. Go to my sponsor at https:/aura.com/the Windy City. Again, that is aura.com/the Windy City to get a 14-day free trial and see how much of your information is being sold. Welcome back. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love as always. Coming off and talking about the Bears and what they could do at the top 10 pick. Brad Biggs thinks they play it safe. Go Kelvin Banks Jr. Is that playing it safe though? Is that playing it safe, or is that taking a bigger chance? You're taking a chance. I'm just saying, like you are, like as Aura said, right? Are you protecting Caleb Williams' back door in a situation where you go Kelvin Banks Jr.? Because again, we both think he's going to be solid. We both think he's a solid pick. I don't know. We'll see. Mel Kyper and Field Yates came together for a powerful cavalcade of mock draftery.
Whoa.
Yeah, you like that, don't you? As
that's word usage.
They do a 3-round mock that just dropped today, 2025 3-round NFL mock draft. Kyper and Yates predict the picks. That's what it's titled on ESPN Plus. Tap in with that. And we can look at all these other picks. But what is interesting, I will say this before we do this, another mock draft yet again that has Shedeur Sanders 9 to the Saints.
Mm-hmm. Start to see that.
Yeah, Derek Carr with the uncertainty around his career.
Yep.
All of a sudden, the Saints are all in on the quarterback position here with Shedeur Sanders. I don't know.
Shoulder injury.
But at 10, we start things off, and they kind of go back and forth on this with Kyper making picks and then Field Yates making picks. So it's kind of all right, that guy's off the board. This is where I go kind of exercise. At 10, the Chicago Bears select Tyler Warren, tight end, out of Penn State. Now, I'm not going to sit here and break down all these picks because we've done this a number of times already.
Yep.
We've gone through this exercise. We know what Tyler Warren is. At 39, the Carolina Panthers pick via Carolina, as it says. Field Yates has the Chicago Bears select Tayvon Henderson, running back out of Ohio State. Now, I like.
All right.
You've gone weapon here. You've gone outside. I'm getting a little nervous, right? There's no trench addressing here. I'm ready to punch somebody in the face.
Here you go.
Kuiper goes Azariah Thomas to New Orleans yet again. So they've gone quarterback and then cornerback. They're big on the backs. And at 41,
big back.
big back. The Chicago Bears select Nick Scorton, edge, out of Texas A&M. Now, okay,
not too
I'm
bad.
a little bit back in. That's not a bad mock. That's not a terrible second round. You've addressed the trenches with a nice piece of Nick Scorton. You're going edge there over defensive tackle. You've also got the running back selected. Tyler Warren is a weapon that apparently can be a running back, can be a quarterback, can be a safety, can be a linebacker, can be
I do it all.
Coordinator. He's been a water boy on occasion. I don't know if you saw his movie that came out there, but apparently he led the Mud Hens to the never mind.
Oh boy.
The fact that we're getting old, that Adam Sandler reference movies are old movies now, it's kind of nuts.
Yeah. And
then they finish out the 3-round mock. And this kind of buys me back in. Outside of the Mel Kyper the Brad Biggs taking a left tackle at 10. At 72, Mel Kyper for the Chicago Bears selects Ariante Ersay,
oh boy,
tackle, Minnesota,
Mm-hmm.
And what he writes here, the Bears went after interior of the offensive line of free agency, but Braxton Jones is coming off an ankle injury at left tackle, which apparently, bro, like this man's ankle is not attached. Like, I don't know. And like all I keep
Talking
seeing
about it. Yeah.
When everybody, I'm like, it's a broken ankle. It's a broken ankle. Is it not just a broken ankle? Like, somebody got to know something that we don't know. Like, did they saw off Braxton's ankle?
I don't know.
It's just a foot attached to a calf muscle now.
Cartilage is gone. Yeah,
like,
we don't know.
This is crazy. I've never heard about somebody's ankle this much. I get it. It's an end of season injury, and he's going to have to come back from it.
Yeah.
But did he die?
Like, where is he at?
Like, this is crazy to me. But with coming off an ankle injury at left tackle, Ersay is a massive 6'6" blocker with 39 career starts and great power.
Love that.
You address the trenches, you address the weapons, and you address the weapons earlier than maybe we thought than the Bears would have gone trenches here. Do you like this mock draft for the Chicago Bears heading into the season?
Compared to what we just talked about, this is exactly the type of value that I like. If we're talking about addressing trenches, and I'm going to start with the 72nd pick, Ariante Ersay is a very good value pick. I've watched film on him a number of times now. I love the nastiness in his game, the fact that he is a huge, really complete blocker. Yeah. He's aggressive. He kind of plays through the whistle. Very, very good player. Very, very good player. 6'6". I love this amount of starts. He has experience coming out of college. As you mentioned, great power. And so, yes, that's where you go back in and you want to compete with the likes of a Braxton Jones and Karan Amageji. I'm fine with that. Then, of course, at 10, as I just mentioned, you taking Tyler Warren there, I'm fine with the Tyler Warren. I've mentioned this before, that if he's the best player available at 10, then get the do-it-all tight end, get the coach, get the, what you say, the water boy.
Yeah,
Keith, I'm with you though, man. I'm dragging at this point. I'm just like,
this feels like when you have that. Infer your own on this. It feels like when you have that long session. Like the kids are gone for the month. Stay on vacation. By the end of it, you're just pounding Gatorades in the region, like, and just trying to keep yourself in the game.
I'm trying to stay hydrated.
You're like Jimmy Butler in the bubble final.
Man. Oh my God, that man! He's bending over the sideline, just trying to gasp for air. I'm exhausted. I'm exhausted, man. It's like my goodness, you want to give me some Gatorade right now?
Oh God!
No. Tyler Warren is obviously a very good value pick. I'm fine with that. But then, of course, you address running back, which I love, in the second round with Tayvon Henderson, and that's your guy as well. Don't sit here.
I do like Tayvon. Out of anybody, listen, I think the Bears are going to pick a early running back. I'd rather go with Stumpy here, but I think the Bears are going to pick an early running back no matter what. And if you're going to pick an early running back, go get me the one that literally saws people in half when he's pass blocking, while still being a speed guy, while still being a pass catching guy out of the backfield. Like, I'll take that guy. Like, I can live with running back in that situation.
Yeah, he's a home run hitter. He kind of has a lot of tools in his bag, in a sense, and so I do like this mock. And then, of course, at 41, what do you see? We're addressing Nick Scorton, so you address edge as well. I don't mind Nick Scorton. Very good production from the sack numbers over the last couple of seasons in college, and so that though you've. It makes sense. This mock draft makes sense in my mind. You go offense a couple of times, and then you address the trenches, and you go defense on the other end. So I'm fine with this draft.
Yeah, listen, we've talked about Nick Scorton a couple of times, right? Like to me, he's a guy who good length, good size. Sounds crazy with two things I just said, but a thickly built dude, has a great lower base. He plays a little heavy, which I don't know if that's going to help or hurt him. But again, like when I look at a lot of these strengths and weaknesses, I also go, oh, but now he's going to have NFL coaching. Now he's going to have Dan Richard. Now he's going to have Dennis Allen. Now he's going to have, there's going to be these pieces on both sides of the football where it's like, yes, this is a weakness. So like weakness for Nick Scorton, had some bad weight on his frame and lacks ideal length. I think his length is fine in the as far as being able to get the job done. Body quickness at the top of his rush won't wow anyone. Can be caught too far upfield, creating an escape lane for quarterbacks. Poor efficiency setting up or transitioning move to move. And you see all of these problems that, to me, coaching 100% can fix. And then I see 15 tackles for loss, 10 sacks.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, he's doing something right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like you got all of these issues with this guy's game. 15 tackles for loss, 10 sacks.
Yeah. I look at the production. Yep.
And that was last year at Purdue. Last season at Texas A&M, 14 tackles for loss, still in the backfield, 5 sacks. Numbers were down again, which is why he ends up falling. But like the traits are there. And again, in the second round, I think that's something you can live with. When you talk about the third round, right? And you look at Tayvon Ersay, that's why I think this offensive line room is kind of the conversation around the offensive line in this draft is kind of like there's a bunch of guys grouped together who are going to be solid. Weaknesses for Tayvon Ersay: false steps at times, occasionally allows feet to get choppy if he gets stressed, can do a better job continuing to work his hips into position as he engages, comes off ball high, which leads to waist bending tendencies. Things that I would hope our new coaching staff can coach out of this guy.
Yeah.
These are not unfixable issues. And some of the highs are high, especially for a third round pick. Able to quickly access length to fend off cross chops and inside counters. That's a strength. Coaches praise the jump that he made from college to the combine to now what will end up being the NFL. If you got a guy that can make jumps that coaches are surprised by or praising from year to year to year, that's the guy that you want to continue to allow to grow as he gets into the NFL. Started 38 straight games at left tackle to finish his career. Knows how to play the left tackle position. Love the fact that he started that many games in a row. And guess what? Seems to be a fairly healthy player. As much as I think people are still living in rookie year Braxton Jones. Braxton Jones is not a healthy player.
Mm-hmm.
He now last year out of his control, but Braxton was kind of in and out dealing with some injury before the ankle ended up getting snapped there. But I'm not going to hold the ankle injury against him.
Mm-hmm.
But there's so many things where it's like, Braxton Jones year 2 was not Braxton Jones rookie year. Braxton Jones year 3 was not Braxton Jones rookie year. Like the biggest trait that everybody was praising Braxton for was, well, at least you know he's going to be out there. Nah, I don't. Him and Tevin are pretty much neck and neck right now. He's just still on the
still on the team.
Yeah. Contract. So
yeah,
I think there's more of a conversation around that. So to me, this is one where if you're the Bears right now, I like this mock draft. I think going with the weapons early, you have to hit on the names late.
Yeah. I
don't know if Nick Scorton's going to be, Khalil Mack or Montez Sweat or whoever the edge is. But I do like Tayvon Henderson. I do like going Trey early on in the draft. And
yeah, I love Tayvon Henderson.
I think if you go, if you go Tyler Warren early on in the draft at 10, you've given Ben Johnson all of the weapons. You've given Ben Johnson a left tackle. You've addressed a ton in the offseason. You're addressing the edge while you address the interior a ton in the offseason. Again, Dio can play both. Like, there's a lot of good to look at from this offseason, on top of the fact that, and I think this is the most important thing, no matter who we pick, they have to be coached up. If we have the right coaches can coach these guys up.
Totally agree with that. And You know, I'm a defender of running backs. I have to mention this comment because it actually is making me laugh inside. New Harper, I love you, man. Shout out to you for supporting the show. But you mentioned Travion. No, this is back a while ago at 7:32 a.m. Travion is horrible. He is a speed back without the speed, and then you proceed to post his 40-yard time of 4.43. Please tell me what you think his speed. What is 4.43 is? What is 4.43 slow to you? What?
That's top speed.
That literally is 0.3 away from 4.39. Like what are we?
He's not 4.3, but yeah, 4.43 is pretty fast.
I can't run a 4.43.
Hey, that's one of the
That's hilarious to me.
Not to dish you, New Harper, but like. Those are the conversations when people sit there and be like, nah, it's a little like when Joel always hit like, nah, he was a little slow to me, and Buddy ran like a 4.48. It's like, Joe, you were eating chips watching this, dog. You know what I mean? You were having a sandwich while watching this.
Oh my goodness, that's hilarious.
But no, I get you, dog. Like the
shout out New Harper.
Listen, to me, he's the best. The thing I love about Tayvon Henderson has nothing to do with his speed. Mm-hmm. He's a running back. He's going to be able to run. You know what I mean? Like I don't think there's a question about his talent on if we hand the football off to him and there's a hole, is he going to be able to hit the hole? Yes, he is. There's not a question to me on, hey, if I pass this guy to football, is he going to be able to catch it? Yes, he is. Okay. Well, where does the question come in? What separates him from the rest of these running backs in this whole mock draft situation? It's the fact that, to me, he is the ultimate pass blocker. He is the one guy who will literally – what we praised Roschon Johnson for is him. Like the reason Roschon Johnson eventually ended up getting on the field is exactly what this guy does. Anything it takes, I will put my body on the line. He also had 1,000 yards rushing last season. He had 1,200 yards his first year coming in when he was the lone back there.
Yeah, he's splitting time with another really good back.
Splitting time with Quinshon Judkins.
Yeah.
He also added in 284 receiving yards. Didn't get a ton of passes to him. He only ended up getting I don't know, this don't have the targets on there. I got to find the targets on there. But 27 receptions in 9 games where he started, and 16 games that he played in, 284 yards, ended up coming away with a touchdown there. But to me, when you're talking about a guy who is going to help Caleb Williams, if you're going to draft a guy that does it all, this is a guy that does it all.
Yeah.
And so I would be fine with having Tayvon Henderson be on the Chicago Bears. And I mean, listen, it's still early for me to draft a running back, but if you're going to take one, I think
that's your guy. That's your guy. You stick to him.
I think take the guy that can saw people in half.
You stick by him.
You know what I mean? Take the guy that can saw people in half. Like, that's the thing that I love about his game. Hey, man, appreciate y'all for tuning in to the show. Love it. That like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. Hey, Jordan JC, we do have over 100 in the chat. Over 200 in the chat.
Hey.
Over 300 in the chat.
All right.
300. There you go.
Good morning.
10%, right? It's like my favorite line from American Gangster.
Yeah,
money dead in the middle of the street. It's like, there you go. 10%.
Did you notice that? Did you notice that he literally reacted to being shot in the head though? Am I the only one that noticed that while he got shot, he was like, Interest was still alive as he was getting shot.
What you gonna do? You gonna shoot me in the head, Frank? Huh? Middle of all these witnesses? Bow. There you go. 10%.
10%.
Right there in the cup.
That was hilarious.
Hey man, appreciate y'all for tuning in, showing love, man. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page. Hey, before we get into this final topic where we're gonna get on this real quick about Coby White, we do got to tell you guys about an amazing event that is coming.
Oh, what's happening?
Breeze Nation, what is good? The Chicago Bears draft is on April 24th. We want you to come hang out with us at the Ultimate Gaming Experience in Orland Park. Come watch the draft with us. We're going to be streaming the show live. Tickets are on sale right now, and we're going to have a ton of fun. There's going to be a bartender there for drinks. Of course, we're going to have some food on location and massive giveaways. A 65-inch TV is going to be raffled off at the event, and of course some merch to give away as well. Hey, can't wait to see you guys out at Ultimate Gaming Experience. Pull up on us April 24th. Tickets are on sale now. Start 6 p.m. until the final pick, or we get done having a little bit of fun. See you guys out there, man. Can't wait to see you out at Orland, man. Ultimate Gaming Experience. Pull up on us. Pull up on us.
Ooh. Yeah, well, X-Men.
I forgot about that part in there.
I ain't gonna lie.
This shit's about to get demonetized. I forgot the X-Men part. I hate you.
I ain't gonna lie. I was
play the video.
Play
the video. I hate you. I hate him so much. Well, that was fun. Just love giving my money over to freaking.
Thanks a lot, producer.
Yeah, super producer. He been dying to use that beat forever. The X-Men beat was raw. It's a fire beat, but
we like money.
We'll never play that video live here again. I hate this. I forgot about that. I was like, oh wait, this beat's gonna get me. Oh, darn it.
Oh boy.
Appreciate y'all for tuning in to Show Love. Let's finish it out with this, Jordan JC.
Yeah, I got you.
As we got the play-in tournament coming up here. Crimson said RIP to Loot. You ain't lying. As we got the play-in tournament coming up here for the Chicago Bulls. The conversation that I think people aren't having, because there's a lot of love happening around the Coby White, Josh Giddey connection, which I do appreciate, is Coby White has been in this position for now 3 seasons in a row. Last season, Coby White was being relied on heavily throughout the play-in tournament. And in one game, he balled out versus the Miami Heat. Versus the Atlanta Hawks. In the next game, he was an absolute dud versus the Miami Heat. This first game here is going to be versus the Miami Heat. If Coby White does not show up in this moment yet again, is this a Gucci Finesse? No, it's not BYOB. We're gonna have a bartender on staff. If Coby White does not show up in this play-in tournament, is that a sign that, hey, Kobe's a fine player, but he's not somebody who you can rely on in the playoffs?
At this point, you would hope that he's kind of gotten over the hill with that conversation. I think that Coby White is the X factor in order for this team to finally kind of get over the hump of not only getting past the play-in, but getting past the Miami Heat. This has constantly been the matchup for whatever reason for the last couple of times. But
Miami and Atlanta for 3 years.
It's just like, oh my goodness.
Miami went to a finals in one of them.
This is our challenge now. Yeah. Miami actually went on. So my thing is that you've seen Coby White really dominate. In March, he obviously had his peak in his career with the Player of the Month, Eastern Conference Player of the Month, averaging over 27 points. And then in April, numbers fell off just a little bit, but he still was consistent. I think that kind of also went more into them resting them as well, kind of minutes restriction, 22.3 points. Still had a good slash line of 54%, 40 from the 3, and then 97 free throw percentage. So really, really good numbers. My thing is that now that needs to translate into when it matters the most. Obviously, this one game is going to be important, whether or not they actually make it into the playoffs, if they have the desire to get past the Miami Heat, which, as I told you before, I think they have all the tools now to do that, because this is not the same version of the Miami Heat that they faced the past couple of times. And so Coby White will be leaned on. He's going to be your primary scorer, rightfully so. He's shown himself to be that. So when the spotlight is on him, will he deliver? I think that this is going to either show whether or not he is truly over the hump with being inconsistent, or if this is going to be all this is the same old Coby White when it's time to really put on, he regresses and kind of goes to the background. So I'm hoping that Coby White does kind of show up and show out.
Yeah, listen, to me, I think that Coby White is the consistencies have always been my biggest issue. I know he can score. I think a lot of people can score, right? But the conversation around Coby has to become, is he more than just a scorer? Mm-hmm. The next paycheck for Coby White is going to be big. You're talking about, you're probably going to be paying Coby upwards of 30 M's.
Ooh, I was thinking 40.
Either way, a lot of freaking money a year.
Yeah.
That's not a player that you don't believe you can move forward with and build with and who's going to show up in the playoffs, right? That's not a Chris Middleton guy. That's not like that. Don't put yourself in that position, because the thing that Coby White can do is score. If in big moments you can't score, I don't need you.
Mm-hmm.
That's his overwhelming talent. Now he's a solid facilitator. I think that adds to the game as well. I think the team defense-wise, Coby White does some really good things. I like a lot of what Coby White does. What I love about Coby White is that on any given night, if he gets hot, he can put up 40 plus. On any given night, if he gets hot, he can be one of the most efficient scorers in the NBA. And the efficiency, I think, is the big part of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've seen Coby put up 40 on 16 shots, and he's 11 for 16, getting to the free throw line. Like how he's doing it this season, I think is a completely different conversation. And so for me, when I see the Coby White conversation, when I see okay, we're excited, this is gonna be a great offseason, we're gonna pay Coby. I've seen 3 play-in games. I've seen multiple playoff games. Now again, he was younger when he was in the playoffs, right? But Coby White hasn't shown up in these moments when we've needed him most. There are games this season where we've needed Coby White most and he hasn't shown up. Now, you also have to look at the team and say, well, nobody showed up. Nobody showing up doesn't mean Coby shouldn't show up if he's that. Mm-hmm. And that's where the question mark for me does come in on Coby White. I think he's a great player. I think that he's I don't know about great player, I shouldn't say that. I think he's a really good player. I think that he's a great scorer. But can you be a great scorer versus the great defenses? Can you be a great scorer versus the great teams? That's where the question marks do come in for me with Coby White. Coby didn't have a great game versus Cleveland. Coby didn't have a great game versus OKC. Coby, he had a solid game versus LA in that second game there. But like the inconsistencies, are they worth the contract that you're going to have to pay Coby White?
I think that's the measuring stick. I think that's a really good point that if you really want to see whether or not Coby has really progressed, you look at the defensive matchups that he is being thrown at him in individual players. When it comes time to really put on versus some of the better team defenses and also player defenses, one-on-one matchups. Does he do the same things? Because I've seen improvement from Coby. He's not just a guy that comes down and just tries to shoot the three all the time. You've seen the mix in the match in his game now, where he drives a little bit more, is a little bit more craftier when it comes to the pick and roll, the high pick and roll up top, and does what he needs to do to try and get to the basket. As you mentioned, getting to the free throw line more, which to me is one of the bigger areas of taking a leap when it comes to a normal player going from just a routine guy to being a star, is how many times does he get to the free throw line? You saw Jimmy Butler kind of do that earlier on in his career, which made him a star. Is you're getting to the free throw line more, which adds on to your point total. So obvious that so those are the things that I want to see. I think that again, that's a good point. That's a good thing that you bring out, is that he needs to win his matchups versus some of the better defenses. And, they have a decent defense in Miami. There's some players that can match up against him pretty well. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see if Coby can hold his own and kind of get over this whether or not he can shine when the lights are the brightest.
Yeah, we'll see what ends up happening here. I think this is showtime for Coby White as the Bulls head into this play-in game tomorrow. Got to be interesting. We'll be live over on the Chicago Bulls Breeze, so tap in with us over there as we've got coverage everywhere. Appreciate you guys for tuning in and showing love. Make sure to sub to the Chicago Bears Breeze with the super producer Joel Holt. He's dropping videos over there. Drew's also with him. And, of course, we've got the Chicago Bulls Breeze. And the Breeze itself will be dropping – we'll be dropping those videos on Friday as the Breeze, the national show is live. The Breeze Sports Talk. Make sure to subscribe over on that channel as well. Hey, man, we're going to get up out of here. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do for Mr. Media himself, Jordan JC. It's your boy, Pat, the designer. Back at it again. Y'all stay safe, brother. Chicago. Bed down. One love. Peace.
I do want to say I want to show some love to the Chicago Sky drafting Haley Van Lith.
Oh boy,
Match back up with Angel Reese.
Yeah, you're excited. This is a good draft. That was a good draft.
Haley Van Lith, not too bad. Not too bad.
We talking about the basketball, right?
Sure. Let me get out of here.